Hello, ladies and gentlemen, it's Mike here at Gamefromscratch, and starting out in game development can be a daunting task. There's just so many things that you have to learn, and the best approach, in my opinion, is to break it down into manageable steps. So that's what I've done here. This guide is how you should get started in game development, in my humble opinion. Now, you may be thinking, okay, what do I start with? Should I start with, jump in with something like Unity, or maybe Unreal Engine, or possibly Godot? All three of those are great game engines, do not get me wrong. But if you have never done any game development before, I actually think starting with any of these will slow you down. Instead, what I think you should actually do is start with something simpler. Now, my recommendation here, and I'll explain why as we go, is actually this, Microsoft's MakeCode Arcade. Now, there's a bunch of other things in this segment. We've also got things like Scratch from MIT, a good choice, maybe for a little bit of a younger crowd, but I think MakeCode Arcade is a great choice for a couple reasons. First off, it is free, but second is it has a lot of things in it that are built in. On top of that, you have a good escalation path. So I'm going to talk about that path here. So what I recommend is, even if you're going to want to start with Unreal, Unity, or Godot, spend a weekend, just a weekend with MakeCode Arcade. Just make some fun games, because you're going to learn some very key concepts. Like what you see in front of you, this is the art of level design. It's something you need to do. You've got a built-in level creator right here. This is how you program in MakeCode Arcade. You use these like virtual Lego blocks, but you're going to learn things here that you probably don't realize are important, but they're going to be common when you move over to Unity, Unreal, or Godot, or any other game engine out there. Things like the game life cycle. Every game follows this in a different way, but once you've done this here, you will learn it. So again, you have an initialization, an update, and a close phase with every game engine out there. So you see right here, this is called when this game starts. It's one of those things you're going to have to learn. It's just the way, the life cycle of a program. So this is called just once when a game first starts loading up. But then you also have this one right here. This is called every loop. Every time the game runs, the game runs over and over and over again in a loop, that is when this is called. Again, it's common to all game engines out there. You've also generally have things for cleaning up when you're done. These are things you're just going to need to learn. On top of that, you have concepts like this. These are functions. Functions, like you see here, you break them down into things like doing the introduction and so on. Those are all super consistent across programs you're going to work with as well. But you've also got other things like here. So let's here, this has animation frames. But I click here, we actually have this animation editor built in here as well. I think that is a huge thing for starters, because all of your tools are here in one place. The same deal, so let's say I was dragging some music into the game. I'll drop in this song, and I can actually just click here, and I can actually start creating a song by dropping notes. Now, obviously, this is possibly a little juvenile. It's still fun, but all I recommend, again, is just spend a few days playing around with this, and this set of tools will teach you a number of basics, like how to make god-awful music, like you just saw right there. But you actually are learning more than you realize there, because there was also like the timing per note, sequencing of things, and so on. But what they've done here with MakeCode Arcade is they've put it all into one place. And then on top of that, we've got a number of assets to work from, like here. So you don't need to go and hunt these things down or create them yourself, because they've provided a bunch of them for you. So you can focus on the parts that you are most interested in, and that is learning how to program. So again, there is the other big reason why I recommend MakeCode Arcade as well, because right now you're using this visual programming system, and there are a ton of examples, a ton of documentation to get you up and going. I've even done a tutorial on creating like a Pac-Man style game using MakeCode Arcade. But the cool thing here is what we can also do is switch over to Python, which is a popular programming language out there. It's very popular in the world of AI, but also it is like the basis of like the scripting language GDScript that Godot uses, for example, is built around Python. Another popular programming language out there is JavaScript. And what you can have is this will automatically generate JavaScript for you, and then you can smoothly transition over to using script instead of block programming. So this gives you a nice path forward. Then we move on. Let's say you want to get better in the world of art. I've got a couple of suggestions for you. For the most part, I'm trying to stay to everything here that I'm talking about is free. With one exception, just because you're just starting out. You have no idea where you're going to go with things, so you got a bunch of different options. Now, the cool thing here, Pisco, if you've got a Chromebook, you're working from a library or something like that, you can use this entirely in your browser. This is basically dot by dot. You just basically create right there, pick your color, paint on the screen. You got tools here for doing lines and so on. It's a good introductory art tool. It's also got layers in here, things that you're going to need to learn about, as well as palettes. It's got, again, it's a good introductory path if you want to get into the world of pixel art. On top of that, you can also animate. So you can create frame-by-frame animations, something if you want to go down the art route, especially if you're working in 2D, you are going to need to learn. Next up, we have Krita. Now, Krita is going to be a more complicated program to check out, and it's not really aimed specifically at pixel art, but people do use it for pixel art. But this is a free and open source painting application. You can just start with the basics, and you'll appreciate what it is capable of, but there's definitely more you can delve into over time. Now, another option that's come along rather recently is Pixie Editor. Now, Pixie Editor has a ton of power behind the scenes, like for node-based stuff, but just completely ignore it for now. What you're going to find is it has pixel art tools out of the box. You stick to just the pixel art area. It's got animations for said pixel art, and it's a pretty easy to use tool. So another one that I would recommend to check out if you know, Krita might be a little bit more generalized on the painting side of things, and Piskel may be a little bit too simple for you. If you want to move beyond, go ahead and check out Pixie Ed. Now, there are a ton of other tools in this space, especially as you escalate in your own knowledge, and that's basically what Game from Scratch is all about. Just search on Game from Scratch. We have covered literally thousands of tools, game engines, choices out there, but I don't want you to focus on, get lost in the choices for now. Just, you know, learn a tool as you need it. As you progress beyond what you already know, you move on to the next step. By the way, this is the one non-free tool I'm going to talk about today, because this is one of the most popular tools in indie game developers for creating pixel arts and animation. It is called a Sprite. Now, the thing is, you can actually get this for free if you build it from source code yourself, but if you are listening to this video, that is not for you. I also don't recommend spending money right away. It's 20 bucks, so it's definitely a cheap program. I'm just mentioning it for thoroughness. It's a great choice, but again, until you know what you need something, you know, don't break out your wallet if you don't have to. There's just so many free options out there. If you find that they don't fit for you, though, a Sprite is definitely one you want to be aware of. Now, there's also the world of music. Now, if you want to get into music, this is going to be a learning curve, just something you want to know. And I personally am not great at music, but what you're going to need is something called a DAW, or Digital Audio Workstation. And there's two options I'm going to recommend right away. The first one I think is easier. This is because it comes with a bunch of instruments out of the box. It's got a lot of like retro video game synthesizers like the Commodore 64 SID chip and so on built in. There's a lot of interesting things there, and it's free. And it is called LMMS. So if you want to get into music, this would be a good next step. Now, one of the most popular free DAWs, though, is out there, and it's called Reaper. Now, Reaper is definitely going to be a little bit harder to learn than LMMS. The good thing is Reaper has a ton of tutorials out there. So if you decide instead want to go down the music route, and obviously what we saw in Make Code Arcade is super, super simple, Reaper is your next step, in my humble opinion. Again, you only have to pay for it if you use it commercially. You could download it and check it out free yourself. So Reaper is a good step if you want to get into the world of music. Now, so far, we have talked exclusively about 2D and pixel art. So what happens if you want to go into the world of 3D? Well, easiest way to start with 3D is probably from Autodesk. It is called Tinkercad, and this is as simple as 3D gets. So I would kind of recommend going down this route if you want to check things out. If you want to learn the basics of modeling in 3D, Tinkercad is probably as easy as it gets, although the next step is definitely going to be to pick up and download Blender. And Blender is the indie tool of choice for like probably 90% of indie game developers out there that are working in 3D. The only thing is Blender is its own experience. So while you might be able to learn Make Code Arcade on a weekend, and then pixel art tools in a couple of days, Blender could take you a lifetime. So I want to warn you, the process of learning Blender is a long one. But there are a ton of tutorials out there, and it is just naturally the next progression when it comes to your game development career. So on top of that, let's say you've now moved beyond the whole experience with Make Code Arcade. Where do I go from there? Well, truth of the matter is there are an absolute ton of game engines. Once again, I'm not going to get into it a lot because I've covered so many of them on this channel. Everything we talked about today, I have covered on this channel in some form. So you want to learn more, there are literally hundreds of game engines out there. Some are great choices. One of the natural fits, though, might be GDevelop. GDevelop, you can check it out for free. We're running this entirely in the browser right now. And this takes kind of the visual programming language that we looked at earlier on to the next level. So instead of using visual programming language, you use kind of like this spreadsheet approach like here. So it is a natural progression from MakeCode Arcade, and then on top of that, it does have all of these tools built in here as well. So if you need to make animations and so on, they are all here. On top of that, it's got a number of assets automatically included. So if you're not comfortable or you don't want to learn how to make pixel art or 3D graphics or music or sound effects or anything like that, it does include a number of things to get started and working. Now we come to the point where you might want to loop back and consider something like the Godot game engine. The nice thing here is you now have that good foundation because you learned a little bit about Python from MakeCode earlier on, or perhaps you want to go ahead and start learning Unity. Unity at this point in time will require you to learn the C# programming language. If you went the JavaScript route from MakeCode Arcade, you should be able to transition over to C# without too much pain, or perhaps you want to go the Unreal Engine route. Now, if you want to make a 2D game, I highly recommend against Unreal Engine, especially for a beginner. But if you want to get into the world of 3D, perhaps start with Blueprints, their visual programming language, and Unreal could be a good place to go. But the thing is, I think regardless, if you were thinking about Unity or Godot or Unreal, I think if you start as a complete beginner, you will be further ahead if you start with this simple program or something like it. Now again, I like to suggest MakeCode Arcade simply because it has a good natural progression. But the thing is, you're not going to sit here and spend a year or two making your game in MakeCode Arcade. You're going to spend a day or a week or a month, however long you feel comfortable. But it's going to give you these natural progression routes, like I showed you in this video, for where you can go ahead and take your next step. Even better, though, is when you start using this, you're going to get immediate feedback. So up here, you can see we have our game. Our game is actually running right here, and we can interact with and see the results of what we are working on as we are going. So it is a nice, integrated, rewarding system. And again, I'm not a paid employee of Microsoft MakeCode Arcade by any definition of the word. I just think it's a good natural starting point. But it teaches you these things that you do not necessarily know you need to learn. Program flow, game loops, handling input, calling functions, sprites, sprite animation, music creation, and so on. And then as you want to move beyond that, so let's say I wanted to bring my own sprites in, I can actually go ahead and I can start uploading them, bringing them in externally, and then have my own stuff to work with as well. So again, you can upload your own, bring in your own assets. As you see here, it does have built in for creating tile maps, tiles, songs, animations, and images all out of the box. And I think that's why it is such a good place to start. It's rewarding, it's pretty intuitive, it's pretty easy to pick up, but it also gives you the ability to then go, okay, I want to learn Python, and you can go down that road, and then you can move on. So this is literally, it might just be a weekend you spend starting out, but the progress will it will inspire you to keep going, at least in my opinion. So that is my recommendation. If you're looking to just start out in the world of game development, I will go down this road. And then again, we've got a bunch of tools I recommend to check out after. Perhaps Piskel for pixel art, Krita, Pixie Editor, or Sprite if you are able to build something from code, or you know someone that can do it for you, or if you want to open up your wallet. We also, again, tools for music. Check out LMMS or Reaper. Both are free to download and play with. Both have good tutorials to get you up and going. There's going to be a learning curve with both of them. Do not get me wrong. It's definitely going to be a challenge if you're going to go down the music route, but that is a nice first step. Then in the world of 3D, start with Tinkercad. It's super simple. It's kind of fun. It's easy to work with. So I'd recommend checking that one out. And then the natural progression is going to be Blender, but I just warn you, Blender is definitely has a learning curve behind it. And then if you want to move on beyond what we've talked about, then that's when you pick up something like GDevelop or Godot or otherwise. And ladies and gentlemen, that is my recommendation. If you are looking to start with game development, the biggest thing you need to do is start with game development. And this, I think, is an easy path forward. It's clear, and it will get you where you need to go to then truly start game development. Hopefully that was useful. Let me know what you think. Comments down below. I'll talk to you all later. Goodbye.